Up for the festive season, an increase in the demand for emergency assistance during the holidays is expected in the city. Well, to discuss the EMS strategy and operational plans for the holiday season, we're joined in studio by EMS Spokesperson Robert Mulaudzi. Good afternoon, Robert. Thank you so much for coming through this Christmas Eve.
Good afternoon to the viewers out there.
Robert, we are in the throes of festive fever, I like to call it, and you've just seen the clip before on the preferred alcohol for the holiday season. But on a serious note, Robert, what are some of the risks associated with this time of year? What are the trends you've observed over the years?
Yeah, most of the incidences we respond to over this period, it's mostly motor vehicle accidents. You'll understand people are moving from one destination to the other, and of course, most of those people, in most cases, you find out that they are maybe driving under the influence of alcohol, and also they're driving in a excessive speed. We also have drowning incidents where most of the communities out there, they try and take a chance to try and swim while they're under the influence of alcohol, or they don't really obey the instructions from maybe lifeguards if they are in an area where there are lifeguards. So those are the some of the incidences which we respond to. Of course, even around the New Year celebration, around the 31st, that's where also we attend to mostly, stabbing incidents and also motor vehicle accidents.
Interpersonal violence.
Exactly,
Robert, when it comes to these drowning or near drowning incidents, it is a perennial problem. It happens year after year. What are you doing in terms of water safety and education in our communities? Yeah,
from our side, we have already, taken one step further because I think you'll recall earlier on this year, we actually launched our water safety program, which is actually a continuous program which we have started so many years ago. Right now, we've realized that most of the incidents, drowning incidents, are actually affecting younger children, like between the ages of 2 and around 5. So our focus is on water safety programs with concentrating or targeting on mostly our primary school, learners. So we've launched that in a deep slot earlier on this year. We are working together with Swimming SA to make sure that at least even those schools which doesn't have, swimming pools, we can erect a portable swimming pool and we can be able to teach, younger children how to swim. Because I think learning is a serious necessary, life skill for everyone. You are never late to learn to swim because, of course, we still get incidences where, adults, are, actually involved in drowning incidents.
Robert, it does look like a wet Christmas for most parts of Gauteng this weekend.
Yes.
And of course, then the heightened security, the heightened road safety issues. Now, the Transport Minister did say earlier on this week that 82% of these road fatalities are attributed to human factors or human error. In your experience, what's driving the spiral in the number of road deaths we're seeing, particularly this season?
For myself, I think that answer I can answer it in a very simple way. I've been a paramedic or an emergency service worker for about 16 years now. So when most of the incidents are caused by alcohol abuse. People are speeding out there, and they also from there they get into the vehicles. I mean, as soon as you do that, you must realize that you are actually erasing some family member somewhere out there, because there are those people, law-abiding citizens, who don't involve themselves into alcohol. I think as long as motorists out there, they don't change their behavior of staying away from alcohol if they are driving. I mean, right now, if you know that you're going out somewhere, you're going to enjoy yourself, you can have a designated driver who is not engaging, or she's not engaging in alcohol, so that you can actually be able to get to your destination safely.
Yes. Another important stat that came out of that press briefing this week was that a third of the road deaths we're seeing are actually pedestrian deaths. Why is this also such a reoccurring problem? Is it a lack of awareness or just a blatant disregard?
From our side, we try and conduct some public education in our communities. But what we have realized as we're working now over throughout the year, not only during the festive season period, is that people consume alcohol. Most of the people, they find themselves crossing freeways. I mean, there are designated areas where pedestrians
should be crossing.
Yes, actually there's bridges, there's areas of intersections where there's a traffic light where people can be able to cross safely. That is the reason why from our side we're saying as long as we don't change our behavior. I mean, the minister, there's nothing she can do. If us as motorists or people who are using the roads, we are not obeying the rules of the road.
Yes, it is about taking personal responsibility and changing attitudes. Robert, I quickly want to ask you, you're not going to get away from this one. There's a perception out there that the EMS responds with more speed, more fervor and more zeal to incidents in more affluent areas than perhaps an incident in an informal settlement. How do you respond? Or is it just a question of access, better roads, better infrastructure, etc.?
Yeah, I think you partially answered the question, because yes, there is issues regarding that, because I think the answer is that the challenge is that in the informal areas, yes, we have got issues of infrastructure where there's no street addresses and things like that. We tend to get there later because mostly we use landmarks. We'll just say Robert's Spaza shop or whatever is any landmark which we can use to get there. So unlike in the suburban areas where we just get the address and the street name, and then we get there as quickly as possible. But of course that doesn't justify the issue that we're saying that people cannot complain about our service. Yes, people need to complain about our service, because if they don't, then we're not going to be able to check up our operations out there. If people have got complaints with our service, they need to do that so that we can be able, because we have got a responsibility to render effective and professional service to the communities out there.
When it comes to fulfilling that responsibility, we're fast approaching the new year. Where are the hotspots in Gauteng, in Johannesburg rather, and do you have adequately trained personnel and enough of personnel numbers on the ground to meet that responsibility?
Yes, we do have the adequate numbers, because during this course of this time of the year, especially this time of the year, because we know that there's a demand for our service. Most of our colleagues, they know that around this period, they cannot be able to be granted leave to go and enjoy themselves with their families. So all of us within the service, we are ready. We are on high alert to make sure that we respond to any emergency which might occur. The city of Johannesburg is one of those nice, quiet places for you to visit during this period of time. You can drive to any destination in 5 minutes.
Yes.
So from our side, we are on standby to make sure that we attend to any emergency.
Very quickly, Robert, before I let you go, we are running out of time. The proper and responsible use of fireworks during this holiday season coming to sharp focus. Just tell us very quickly about the common firework-related injuries and brief us about the bylaws governing the use of fireworks this holiday season.
Yes, from our side, the city has got bylaws. Bylaws are there to create order, because if we don't have bylaws in the city, then we will have a banana city where everybody just do whatever he or she wants. So the bylaws are there to make sure that people use fireworks responsibly. In the city of Johannesburg, you are only allowed to use fireworks on the New Year's Eve, which is an hour before midnight, from 11, and then an hour after midnight. So you can use them between 11 and 1 a.m. in the morning, and also on the New Year's Day between 7 and 10 p.m. From there, you are not allowed to use fireworks. Of course, even tonight is the 24th of December, right? On the New Year's Christmas Eve, according to the bylaws, you are allowed to use fireworks between 7 and 10. Of course, people, they don't really use them that much. And we also encourage people to, visit these areas where there's firework displays, where
a public display, which is well controlled.
Exactly. Yes. And of course, we don't want these fly-by-nights fireworks displays whereby Robert just decide late now to organize that event, because of course, right now, we don't have time to educate people. Now we don't have time to educate people. Now we enforce the law, to enforce the bylaw. So if there's somebody who's selling fireworks illegally, they know what we're going to do. It's simple. We're going to make sure that we remove those fireworks.
We're going to have to leave it there. We are out of time. Thank you so much for being generous with your insight on the SABC News Desk. Do have a wonderful Christmas day tomorrow. I know it's a working one for you, as it is for me.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
On that note, let's move on to some other news now.